Hey everybody, Alan Orker here for KastKing. You know, one of the questions I get asked all the time is how do I tie a quality knot when I connect a braided line to a fluorocarbon or monofilament leader? It's a pretty simple solution for you, but it's one that you've got to practice. So do it at home when it's warm and dry and wind's not blowing and all that kind of thing. Practice it a whole bunch of times and you're going to get really good at it. You know, there's a number of different knots out there. The one I'm going to show you today is just a double uni knot. I think it's really popular. A lot of guys use it, and you're going to have good success. You might also want to research and learn how to tie an FG knot. Personally, I have not had success tying a great FG knot, and I think it takes a lot longer. But I have had great success with the double uni as long as you tie it correctly. And that's what I want to show you today. So the braid that we're using is our KastPro 13X Finesse. This happens to be a 15-pound braid. Really thin diameter, very slick, smooth, flies through the guides. I love this braid, okay, especially for finesse applications on spinning reels. That's definitely the braid that I use. As far as the fluorocarbon goes, we're using a 12-pound covert fluorocarbon from KastKing. The reason I've picked the 12-pound right now is what I'm doing is I'm rigging up a rod for some walleye fishing, pitching jigs, and it's going to be some pretty heavy cover, so I want to go a little bit heavier line. So I'm using 12-pound fluorocarbon, 15-pound braid, and let me see if I can't help you tie a really good and simple double uni knot. So everybody's going to probably do this a little bit different as far as which hands you're better with. I'm better with my right hand, so I'm going to start with my fluorocarbon, or excuse me, with my braided line in my left hand, okay? And I've got my fluorocarbon leader in my right hand. And I'm simply going to double those over the top, just like this. And I'm going to give myself plenty of working room here, okay? I don't want to short myself on the amount of line that I use, okay? So we're going to double it over by about 10 inches, maybe 12 inches, so that I have lots of room to work. Now, I'm just going to pinch those two together like this. And as you can see, my fluorocarbon line is hanging down here, and here is my braided main line. Okay. I'm simply going to make a loop underneath, just like that. And you see I've left a tag end of the braid right here to work with. I'm going to take this tag end and I'm going to go away from my body in through this hole 6 times. Okay, so it's just like this. That's once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Okay, now I've got this little tag end right there. I'm simply going to hold that tag end while I get the line wet so it slides together nice and neat. But I want to keep all those wraps that you're seeing there so they don't overlap each other. I want them to slide together nice and smooth. So it's just going to be like this. Just like that. Now I've got a really nice small, if we get that focused for you there, nice small little knot. There's the fluorocarbon. Okay, it's wrapped over the top of the braid wrapped over the top of the fluorocarbon 6 times. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the fluorocarbon. I'm just going to switch. So I'm working with my right hand again because I'm better with my right hand. Okay, so I want to make sure that they're not already overlapped. You can see that right there. They're not already overlapped. I'm going to pinch that in my left hand, and I'm going to take this fluorocarbon leader and make one loop underneath, just like that again, okay? Again, working away from my body, I'm going to take this tag end right here, and I'm going to wrap it through that hole, this time 5 times with the fluorocarbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I've got that tag end right there again. Now, I'm going to hold that in my mouth. I'm going to get this wet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the braided line up to it just by pulling it tight. Just like that. We'll try to get a nice close look at this here. If we get it to focus for me. There we go. Okay, so there you've got a nice tight little double uni knot, just like that. I've got the 2 tag ends right here, just like those, and we're going to trim those off. Just going to use my braid scissors, okay, and we'll trim that, and we'll trim the braid, and we've got a nice tight little double uni knot that's going to be super strong. It's very small diameter, so it's also going to go through my guides very easily. And you'll see there's a little fuzz on the end of the braid. It's no problem. After you use that for a little while, just in the water, it'll just be wet, it'll mat down. But there's a nice tight little double uni knot, very strong and thin diameter. All right, very thin diameter, and it's going to fly through those guides. So I hope that's helped you a little bit. Braided line coming from the left, fluorocarbon coming from the right. Braid goes through that hole 6 times. Fluorocarbon goes through that hole 5 times. Draw it together, trim it off, and I think you're ready to go. I hope that's helped you tie a double uni knot a little bit easier, and hope to see you on the water really soon.